Today we are installing a patio. How to install patio pavers. You gotta make sure it's nice and level. You gotta kind of hammer it down. As this guy be's goofy. That ain't straight. This side needs to be lifted up. Okay, now it's straight. And then you just simply take this, sprinkle it above it, start wiping her in. Kind of fill in the grout lines, the gaps. Make it look like it has actual grout lines in it. Just like that. So he has to scoop some out. That way it sits level. It's crucial that all these gaps right here line up, because not every stone is going to be the same. So you got to still make the grout lines look like that. And even though it's a little gap like this, once you put this on there, you see how that grout line looks like it's even now? Just fill it in. And then you got your pretty grout line right there. All the way down. Not all these stones are exactly even though. Some of them are cut different, so you just kind of got to play with it. But look how close that is. That's really close. What he's doing there is scooping the excess out of there, because you don't want to have too much, but you don't want to have too little. You want it to be nice and flush and nice and even, because if it's not, that stone's going to be wobbly and it's just not going to be good at all. You don't want no stones to be wobbly. You want them completely set, flush to the ground. That's why we're using this paver base right here. This stuff, it's like concrete, but it's little bitty rocks. But when it gets wet, it hardens up. And he puts that like that. Kind of hits it down. I'll have to get my mallet hammer out of the truck here in a minute. That would help a lot. And once again, look at that. Look at that. Nice and straight grout line. And the second one takes away from the first one. All the lines match up. Let me stand up and show you. Look at that. Every grout line matches up. This only took us about 2 hours to get this far so far. But thank God it's still nice and sunny out, because it's gonna storm here soon, so we're trying to get a little bit more done before it does storm. But between me and him, we should have a lot of it done. It's always good to have a packer, so if you have to go and pack it down, you just take it and slam it down, and it packs it. Like right here, for instance. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's nice and sturdy. You guys see how it doesn't go back and forth? But there's no grout line there, so we need to back it that way, just a tad bit towards you, Cody. You always want to make sure that grout line stays consistent. And that's how you get the perfect grout line every time. I have this sand paver base stuff, and this is what we use to go over the top of it once you're done. It fills paver joints up to 1 inch, so it means if they're 1 inch thick right here, this will fill it up and keep it there, and it helps prevent weeds from growing up, insects, and erosion. So you can see that. So which means if you water, it's not going to push it down. It's going to keep your grout line perfect. It's going to make it where the ants don't want to get up here and do these. And it's going to make it where there's no weeds that are going to grow up into it. Now you can see how he does it here. Then that. Then the push broom. And then spray. And just that process, she would look exactly like that, depending on the stones, or she would look like the finished product I'm about to show you guys in the end of this video. It's like, I use it on top of these. After we're all done, I take the bags and spread them out all on top. And then I sweep the excess off, and what it does is it fills in these lines and makes it where the water doesn't kind of go through, where it's not going to be cracking, and it keeps the lines nice and filled. You don't want these lines all of a sudden when water hits it to not be anything in them no more. You want these lines to stay like this when it rains. That's why you got to get the correct materials and everything to do the job 100% right. There's a lot of ways you could do it, and there's a lot of wrong ways you can do it. And the wrong way may look like the right way at first, but then once it rains, you're going to realize all this is going to wash out. But not in these, because we used this. That's not going to wash out. And then we got the other sand that we just sprinkle on top. But you do not want the water to go this way. You want the water to go away from the house. And you don't want the water just to sit on the patio. You want it to wash off the patio. If it sits on the patio, it's going to make the patio sink. All that's under it is sand.